Hey everyone, it's Caitlin and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I make simple and delicious vegan recipes, so make sure you hit that subscribe button to see all of my content. Today we're talking breakfast and I have two easy and budget-friendly vegan breakfast ideas to share with you. One savory and one sweet, which is this amazing vegan banana bread oatmeal. Before we get into cooking, I'd like to thank Peak for sponsoring this video. Peak makes teas and supplements that are designed for radiant skin and skin health. I've been on a skincare routine fix right now and working on my own skin health, and I think it's so awesome that I can make delicious drinks with Peak that are also benefiting my skin. Today I'm enjoying my oatmeal with a matcha latte made from Peak's Sun Goddess matcha. It's quadruple toxin screened for purity and contains 35% more L-theanine than other matchas, which promotes calm and reduces anxiety. I'll drink this in the morning if I'm not having coffee, or I'll have a latte in the afternoon as a nice pick-me-up. I also love how it comes conveniently packaged in individual portions, which also makes it perfect for travel. You can get 15% off Peak's Radiant Skin Duo right now by clicking the link below, which also includes their BT Fountain, a hydrating skincare drink that visibly increases skin elasticity and reduces fine lines thanks to clinically proven ceramides. I've been loving this drink as a nice afternoon treat. It tastes slightly sweet and tangy, almost like a nourishing pink lemonade. So head to peaklife.com/fromybowl for 15% off plus free shipping on their Radiant Skin Duo. The link will also be in the description of this video, so be sure to check it out. Now let's get on to the recipes. First up, we're going savory, and I'm going to show you how to make the best tofu scramble. So this recipe is very simple. You can treat it as a base recipe. We're going to start by adding some olive oil to a pan and crumbling up our tofu. I like to use medium firm tofu, and as you can see here, I'm breaking some of the tofu up more finely and some I'm leaving in bigger clumps. You can always break them down further with a spatula. Then we're going to add in some seasonings. We're adding nutritional yeast. This adds an umami flavor, just a little bit of turmeric for color, some salt, and some black pepper because I love the taste of black pepper and it does whatever with the turmeric, you know. So then you're just going to mix your seasonings in with your tofu, and you'll know that they're evenly combined when the tofu takes on this uniform semi-bright yellow color like you can see here. So then we're going to add in some cashew cream, and we're actually going to add some water to the pan. So there's a lot of ways to prepare tofu scramble, but personally I find that this is the best way to do it. You're adding some fat and creaminess with the cashew cream, and the water is going to cook down over time. It takes about 10 minutes or so. You're just going to stir your tofu, but it changes the texture of the tofu and makes it a lot more bouncy. So as you can see here, the liquid is mostly thickened. This, in my opinion, is key for that similar eggy texture and consistency, and I think it's the closest you can get when just using tofu. So once your scramble is thickened to your liking, you're going to turn the heat off, and here I'm adding Kala Namak, or black salt. This has a sulfuric flavor that is a classic egg flavor, but a lot of people add it in the beginning. I like to add it at the end because it loses flavor with heat. So you only need a little bit, it goes a long way, but you definitely want to add it at the end to get the most bang for your buck. Then you're ready to serve. Today I just topped mine with some chives, but you can see the tofu texture is pretty similar to a hard scramble. This is definitely my favorite way to prepare tofu, and I'm just showing you, you can put it with a side of toast, you can put it in breakfast burritos, you can totally heat this up later if you want to. It's great for meal prep or for just a pretty easy savory breakfast that's pretty cheap to make too. I do want to say that tofu scramble recipe that I just showed you is super basic, so think of it as like the base for a great vegan egg substitute, but you can totally customize it to whatever you want. So right here, I just made myself a yummy meal with the tofu scramble, but I made it more of a southwestern flavor. So before I added the tofu, I sauteed all of my veggies in olive oil and I added some seasoning, and then I proceeded with the recipe like normal, simmering until the tofu was nice and cooked. So you can also go like an Italian route with it with some seasonings. You can just add vegan cheese, you could add vegan spinach. You can really do whatever you want to customize this recipe, which is why I think it's so great. So if you want plain vegan style eggs, you can make that, but if you want something a little more zesty, you can make this too. All right, now let's go on to that sweet recipe. Now let's make our banana bread oatmeal. This is the perfect recipe for when you have ripe bananas on your counter that need to be used, which for me is pretty much all of the time, but I love how it's very meal prep friendly and you can sort of serve it two ways as well, which you'll see later. And again, another thing I love about it, we're making it all in one pan. So you're going to peel your ripe bananas, make sure they're nice, brown, and spotty, and just toss them into a baking dish. And then we're going to mash the bananas directly into the baking dish. I'm just using a fork. You could use a potato masher, just until they're pretty smooth. Then we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our wet ingredients. So we've got some maple syrup for sweetness. You could also use agave if you wanted. We're adding some plant-based milk to the pan, and you can also add some vanilla if you would like, but that's optional. Then you're just going to mix everything together until the bananas are pretty well combined, and then we'll add our dry ingredients. We've got some rolled oats, ground flaxseed, a little bit of baking powder, some cinnamon, and some salt. Then you're just going to mix all of this up. I definitely recommend using rolled oats for the best texture here. The quick cooking oats just get too mushy, and steel cut oats take a lot longer to cook, so the rolled oats make a happy medium. Again, optionally, if you want to get extra fancy, you can fold in some walnuts, but you totally don't have to do this. I just like the added crunch. You could also use pumpkin seeds or whatever your favorite nut is. And I also like to top mine off with a little bit of banana because I think it makes it look pretty. But that being said, if you're doing this for meal prep, this banana does sort of get brown over time. So if you don't like the look of that, you don't have to use it. But I do like how it gets caramelized on top of the oatmeal. So place your banana pieces on top. We're going to bake this for about 30 to 35 minutes. And then I let my oatmeal cool slightly. As you can see here, when I'm cutting into it, it still has a sliceable but still kind of soft texture. So if you eat it out of the oven right away, it has a similar texture to regular oatmeal that you would make on the stovetop. And if I let this cool even further, then you'd be able to slice it into bars and sort of portion it into containers for easy meal prep as well. All in all though, it's totally delicious. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Leave a comment down below and tell me if you're team sweet or team savory and which one of these recipes you want to make first. I love how both of these recipes could be meal prep friendly. They're super easy to reheat. They're made from common ingredients that come from the grocery store. So if you want more content like that, definitely head over to my blog too. I have a ton of other vegan recipes that you might want to check out. And these recipes will be linked in the description of this video too if you want to print them and save them for later. I'm going to go enjoy my food now. So as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. Thanks to Peak for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check the link in the description below to get your discount. And I hope to virtually see you soon in a future video. Bye.